A warm welcome to all the listeners. Listen to the Blue Horse. Dr.C.K.N. is in conversation with Pooja. I'm sure you'll enjoy this session, and I'm sure it's going to be some food for your thought.
Hi, Mr. Blue Horse. Hi, listeners. Let's start with some interesting food for thought topic today. We'll talk about modern day agriculture. The world population as of now, Blue Horse, what is the world population right now?
8 billion, 800 crores.
Yeah, and estimated in 2050 to be about 10 billion.
Yeah, 10 billion, 100,000 crores.
Yeah. So, where do we get food for all of us? What do you think is the current scenario? Like, for example, to get some, you said daily we need to eat fresh food. I'm finding it so difficult to source that particular fresh food every day and eat, Although I know the nutrition value of a food which is refrigerated is not good. Now itself, although we have all the facilities, we don't find it convenient to get fresh food right now. Imagine in another 25 years, what's the scenario? What do you think where we are going? Will we have enough food? Will we have enough water? What do you think the scene would be?
See, Mother Earth has got everything in abundance.
Yeah, but we have complicated.
Yeah, initially we don't know what would have happened thousands and thousands of years ago when the humankind was living. So we have chosen what is needed to us from the nature.
Yeah.
And we have slowly came into a framework of an agriculture.
Yeah.
To produce them for our use. So we more so eat with a lot of food from the plant kingdom. Even though we using eggs, bird meat, and a lot of other meat,
livestock,
and then marine products. So agricultural part of it is totally connected to the plant kingdom, where we produce grains, lentils, pulses, whatever, vegetables, fruits, oil seeds, whatnot. One thing which we don't eat is the cotton, which we use it for our textile. So even that cotton seed, they take oil out of it, which we are not supposed to use.
Okay, then what do you do with that oil?
No, it is a big subject. We will not go into it deeply.
Okay.
So it's always better for you to eat oil from the component what you eat. Like we eat coconut.
Yeah.
So we can use coconut oil.
Groundnut.
We eat groundnut, so we can eat groundnut oil.
Rice bran oil. What do you think of rice bran oil?
No, all those things came little later.
But is that good? I'm using that. I want to know.
If you are now, as far as oil is concerned, whatever your parents and grandparents were using those days will be the right kind of oil for your life. If suppose your parents, grandparents and all are using coconut oil, stick to coconut oil.
Okay.
Simple. Business scenario. They extract vegetable oil from whichever source of plant kingdom. They're going to make a big business out of it. Right? And they're going to talk so many good things about it. Whether it is good or not, we don't know. That's besides the point. So agricultural part of the world is backing up. Backing up because the largest produced 4 components in the world are rice, wheat, milk and sugar. All are carbohydrates, right? So millions and millions of metric tons of these products are produced. But then your question is, what's going to happen in the future to come when we reach more and more population?
Yeah, and also what's today's actual agricultural scenario, because now also you don't get your hands on good, nutritious, fresh food as such.
Fresh food is only one thing what you cook at home and eat. How many people have time to cook at home?
Even if we do, the sourcing is once in a while, no? It's not every day that you...
See, you're going to basically buy your groceries once in a month.
Once a week,
whatever that you want. And you're going to fetch the other components like vegetable, fruits and meat and all that on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Right? Basic groceries are bought once in a month.
Yeah.
Your oil, your grains, your pulses, your spices, your condiments and whatnot. Right? So what's happening here is that what agriculture is supporting us, the huge amount of population involved in the agricultural part of livelihood are deprived with economics. If you open up your international news media today, now, entire Europe is boiling. Everybody has taken up their tractor and all the major cities are, getting blocked. They are under agitation. Okay?
Yes.
It started in Spain, spread to Germany, Poland, Italy, France, everywhere.
Couple of years ago, we also had, farmers in Punjab.
That because they came out with the law, the farmers were against it, and they were under agitation, and they made sure the government do not exercise that law, and it was pulled back. Now, what is happening according to the economic part of agriculture is the guy who was earning around 2000 INR in 1970, after 50 years in 2020, he was earning a lakh of rupees. Okay. Same in 1970, a component which was sold, for example, paddy, a particular quantity for 2000 rupees is only sold for 5000 rupees today. Where is 2000 to 1 lakh? Where is 2000 to 5000?
Yeah.
So now what's happening here is any elected government. So political parties try to contest election under the banner of democracy, and then they gain the confidence of the people by getting their votes in majority, and the highest voted parties come into power. They do the governance.
Yeah.
Right? So coming into power is through the voting system of democracy, and then holding on to power for a period of time. And then again you have to face election.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you make a lot of promises to the people before you come into election.
Yes.
And then you gain the confidence of the people by their votes more than the others to get onto the governance of, get onto the power of forming your own government, governing the country and the people.
Right.
So the taxation and all that is a part of it. Now what is happening here is it's very simple. Any government in the world will keep food prices under control.
Okay.
Because that's a basic backbone of every human life.
Yeah.
Hunger.
Yeah.
So they always keep the basic food commodities pricing under control. So the agricultural products, the agricultural yield, which is the basic necessity, satisfying the hunger of the people of the country, is kept under the control in order to, survive my government. If the food prices are going to go haywire when I am ruling the country, what will happen to me? The people are going to be against me.
Yeah.
In the next election, they're going to throw me.
Yeah.
So you keep it under control. Every government in the world, irrespective of any country in the world. So what's happening? The farmers are not getting better price. On the other side, diesel becomes the most important fossil fuel to operate all your equipments for agriculture today. And today, the basic agriculture is completely based on the artificial fertilizers, chemical-oriented fertilizers.
Yeah.
And pesticides are also another important part.
Yeah.
Then procuring seeds for germination, which is the basics of the agriculture. Prices of those seeds. Everything has gone very high in the sense like the prices of these basic stuff for agriculture. Year after year, the price is rising. No, what was sold in 1970 in few paises in India, diesel, 1 liter, or less than a rupee, or less than 50 paisa, whatever, is sold today for close to 100 rupees, 90 rupees and 100 rupees.
Yeah.
So how many times it has gone up?
Yeah.
And the rate of the, in 1975, if you would have bought a tractor, what would have been the price? If 2024, if you buy a tractor, what is the price?
Yeah.
So high.
Yeah.
So everything has gone high. But my agricultural output, my yield, or my grains or pulses or whatever, I am not getting the right price. Right?
Understood, yeah.
But my work is the toughest work because I am dependent on nature.
Yeah.
Whether it rains or shines, you get into your office, I get into my office, and we work in our respective industry or whatever, the trade or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're going to work in a hotel, you're going to get into your building and you start working. If I'm going to work for an IT park, I'm going to get into my building, I start working. I'm going to work from home. Whether sun shines or rains, it's not going to stop our work, right? But in agriculture, it's not like that. If there is going to be floods, all my plantation is gone.
Yeah, or too much sun.
Yeah, if I am having a banana plantation, if the strong breeze has to come, it will smash the entire trees and go.
Yeah.
So I lose everything. So this is the scenario, but I'm not getting the price now. I'm not getting the price as what the others have enjoyed with respect to their business income or salary income. Taking a mark of 1970 to 2020 in the last 50 years. how much of prices of everything has gone up, how much of the income of the people who are working, who are doing business and all are gone up. But whereas the agricultural part of it, whatever money that they are supposed to get, in spite of paying all those raising prices of basic things like seeds and diesel and all kinds of fertilizers and everything, it's all gone up and up and up. But am I getting my price for the produce, what I do from my field? I'm not.
Yeah.
So what is happening here? The agricultural community is always suppressed.
Yeah.
No one can do anything about it, right?
That's terrible. But what about the recent focus on government subsidies and grants and everything, kind of promoting that agriculture is the way to go?
They speak. There are many funds allocations are given. If you take the oil lobby of crude, it's a big lobby in the world. And the methane, what comes out of it, is the basic commodity for producing urea.
Okay.
That we'll talk in another session.
Okay.
But here, what is happening is the present day agriculture is completely based on fertilizers, which was not the case before 1950.
Natural.
There was no. Because only from 1850 plus onwards, the oil was recognized, discovered, the crude oil, and then slowly we came.
All right.
After 1900 only.
Okay.
After 1950 only, everything went high. Production of crude from the ground and whatnot. Now the agricultural output is basically completely being tuned to fertilizer-based agriculture, which was not the case before 1950. Because these fertilizers were not available.
Okay.
The urea came from Japan. First time in India in 1916. It landed in Kadalur port in Tamil Nadu.
Wow. Okay.
So before 1960, not a gram of urea was available in India. You got it?
Yeah.
Now, because of this fertilizers-based agriculture, our main grains, like rice and wheat and all that kind of, you find excess nitrogen and excess potassium.
Because of the fertilizer.
Because they are artificial nitrogen and artificial potassium, not the natural ones.
Okay.
Which is causing lot of ill health.
Like?
There are a lot of research papers are there.
Like?
Diabetes mellitus.
Because of the nitrogen and...
Yeah.
Oh.
Then hyperthyroidism. Then a lot of problems connected to the central nervous system.
Oh my God.
All these things. Now, what exactly we are placed at the moment in 2024 is we cannot do agriculture any further without fertilizers.
Oh.
Because of using these fertilizers on the soil, we have killed
natural.
The microorganism part of the soil. The soil is dead now.
But I remember...
Soil is dead where, nearly 70 to 120 feet.
Oh.
70 to 120 feet from the ground level. Your soil is completely gone. If you don't put a fertilizer for your plantations, it won't yield at all.
Oh God.
Say for example, if I am producing 1 hectare of paddy, I must get minimum, 80 to 95 bags. Say for example, 90 bags. Unless I put my fertilizer, I will get it. Then only it is some money to me. If I don't put fertilizer, I hardly get 35, 40. Which becomes a huge loss for me. The amount of money that I'm sending.
What about the organic farming that is happening?
See, organic farming, that was what was happening before 1960.
But now?
Whatever the agriculture went on till 1960, 1965, even up to 1970, it was organic farming in the world.
Okay.
Now, what organic farming that you are talking about is, if I don't use fertilizers, if I don't use pesticides, I only use natural fertilizers, right? And I only use natural form of pesticides like neem oil and all that stuff. You call that as an organic.
Okay. Not chemical.
That cannot be organic because your soil is gone.
Right.
Organic becomes possible when, say suppose you have a piece of land, a few acres of land, and that's been, day in and day out used for agriculture year after year after year after year with a lot of pesticides and using fertilizers and all that stuff, chemically oriented fertilizers and all that stuff. Suddenly today, in 2024, you stop everything and say, I will not going to use fertilizers, I'm not going to use pesticides, I'm going to use pure natural stuff and that is what you've been taught as organic. It is not. Because your soil is not going to support that.
Okay.
When it will become organic, The Saturn takes 30 years to come to a rotation of crossing all the 12 Rasi houses.
You had mentioned this in one of
30 years, yeah.
Yeah.
30 years if you leave the ground, that
Without
land
using.
open to sky, then it's going to be open to sky.
Yeah.
The sunshine and the rain, the next 30 years, completely regenerate the microorganisms part of that land. And then after 30 years, if you are going to, use that land for
Cultivation.
plantations and agriculture, whatever, without using your fertilizers and so many artificial things like pesticides and all that, then you can call that as organic, not now.
Right.
Okay, this organic agriculture in my book is a racket. It's wrongly understood.
Yeah. Okay.
So the agricultural commodity is what we are producing now. The water has to support.
Yeah.
You need enormous amount of water for your plantations. That is one area where, because of our modern science, growth of our modern science, maybe in the last 100 years, we have polluted the Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Mainly the water.
All water sources.
When you pollute the Mother Earth, you first pollute the water.
Yeah.
Whatever pollution you are doing it on the soil, it reflects on the water.
Yeah.
So the quality of the water is gone.
Yeah.
Unless and until you are going to, make good river water supplies and all that. The groundwater is contaminated.
We have nowhere.
So building dams, holding water, not allowing the rivers to flow is also a wrong concept. What we have exercised in this last 100 years or 200 years.
Okay.
It is not the right thing to do. We should allow the natural rivers to flow.
But
we have not understood the mother nature as yet, as far as the water is concerned.
Right.
So the water is also, polluted because we have polluted the Mother Earth in a big way. We have gone to the extent of polluting the entire oceans in a big way.
I know.
With all our wastage.
Fishes have microplastics.
Which is going in. So how much this agricultural scenario is going to stay within the framework of artificial fertilizers and pesticides and whatnot is a big question mark. Do we have a way out? Because we are already 800 crore, 8 billion.
Yeah.
And we are going to be 10 billion very shortly.
Yeah.
This is one. Two is how much of organic farming is possible. You cannot put all your land for 30 years open to sky. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Concept may be correct, may be meaningful, but not. Yeah. So with whatever modern science research works are going on with respect to improving your yield to match more and more population, even if it works, how much the agricultural community around the world is going to be kept happy with prices for the commodities produced, which they will also feel that they can live a life at par with urban people who are involved in many professions. That is another big question mark. Whether we are going to support ourselves for food, which is a big question mark. It is not so easy.
All right.
Okay?
Yes.
What else is happening is the war situations.
Yes.
All kinds of conflict. We have about 11 million refugees already in the world.
Yeah, and everything.
Who have no access to food.
Yes.
And every 19 seconds, one person in the world, a human being, dying out of hunger, starvation. Can we stop all these things?
It's only going to get worse, right?
These are all the basic questions the humanity has to answer. But we are at the moment
very busy,
irresponsible, turning our head away by only listening to the news, either in a newsprint or in an internet or in a television. Thank you.
All right. Hopefully I don't know. The best I can hope is I die away before this happens, because there is no viable solution that's available or that one can think of. Anyhow, we'll catch you guys with a probably more cheerful topic. Take care.